Our first question is, why are you interested in running for a Calgary Catholic school trustee, and what motivates you to serve as a trustee?
Good morning, Mr. Rollick. Thank you for that question. I'm going to go back to a quote that has been with me for the majority of my life, and it was a quote said by Saint John the 23rd, and it says, and he spoke this, and it says, "I believe that when I stand before God, God will simply ask me the question, what have I done with the gift of life I've given you?" And for me, that is my moral compass. That is every day I wake up and I think of that quote because it allows me to put in perspective what we're doing here on earth. And for me, it's about serving people. So when I look at the school board trustee role, your guardians, and especially for the Catholic district, what an honor, what a privilege. It's incredibly humbling to be part and to have a voice for that, for this beautiful district. And so all my life, I have this servant leadership desire to serve in any capacity, whether it's with parents or whether it's students, whether it's with administrators, whether it's with the diocesan, whether it's with all the people that I've been very blessed to work with. Also, Mr. Rollick, Catholic education, obviously, is incredibly important to me. I was born and raised Catholic, and the center of my life is Jesus Christ. And so when I want to serve in that capacity, you have the gift of the ultimate teacher, and the ultimate teacher is Jesus Christ, who accompanies you through those journey. And if we look at the mission statement, actually, of Calgary Catholic, it's living and learning in our Catholic faith, so that students centered in Christ will reach their full potential. And that is wonderful, and that is exciting, having the best person, Jesus Christ, as a model for everyone, for all of us, especially our students, to be accompanied by his gospel teachings. So it's more of a servant leader for me. I'm just that type of person. In all the roles that I have done and all the volunteer stuff that I have done, it's about how can I help? How can I serve in the capacity of anything that I can do? I just want to help. I want to serve. I want to help. So the school trustee it would be a beautiful way, a natural progression for me to be a voice for everyone at a different level. I've been working for Calgary Catholic for 30 years in the capacity of, a parent. My kids went to Calgary Catholic as a teacher, as an administrator, and now currently I'm still currently here with the board as a chaplain. And I've been also in a variety of different schools, and that has given me a fantastic perspective of the diverse needs. And I've been in all different quadrants, and I've seen, and I've learned a lot, and I've seen different leadership styles. I've also learned about students and their needs, and so I'm very well equipped. I believe that I want to continue my service with the district that I love. I'm in love with Calgary Catholic. I've been here for 30 years, and it brings me much joy. And the people that I work with, the students that I have taught, and now, ironically, the students that I have taught now, some of them are actually teachers in our district, and I love that. I love that we're taking care of our own, right? It's just, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I think we're a family, right? Calgary Catholic is a family, and it's lovely to be part of Calgary Catholic in many different areas, and also see these students of ours grow up and become, part of our family. It's a beautiful thing. One of my students that I taught many years ago, I was privileged to teach with them as my colleague, which was beautiful. It's funny because she still called me Mrs. Vecchio, and I thought that was lovely. But anyway, I love Calgary Catholic. I'm looking forward to serving the district further, And I'm really excited about continuing with the Catholic education and the importance of it.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
The next question is, what skills do you bring to the role of trustee that will help strengthen the governance of the Calgary Catholic School Board?
So as I said earlier, I've been with Calgary Catholic for 30 years. And I've taught in many different schools. And it's just given me a really great perspective of what I can offer. I think being a chaplain, which is the role that I'm currently in, has been just a blessing. And so the skills that I would bring to the table would be, I'm a good listener. I welcome conversation. I welcome everyone, and I feel that I walk alongside people. I'm like Jesus Christ is, right? Like he accompanies people on their journey. So I bring those skills where I have different pockets that I throughout my time at CSSD I could see, and I can hone in on those topics and the needs of the district. Because I'm currently, walking the hallways as we, currently this year, and so you see what's happening in the trenches, as they say. And so I have the honor of having a really fresh perspective of what's happening currently right now, because I teach with my colleagues. I work alongside my colleagues. I teach the students. I hear their needs. And so that brings me a lot of insights. So then I can say, you know what, let me take those insights, let me take those insights and let me bring them to a different table. We all want to be heard. We all want to be valued. And that's what is important to me when I work with my wonderful staff, my colleagues, the support staff, and the students. And so I would bring much to the table because I'm currently here, and so I have a really fresh perspective of what's going on. I don't have all the answers, but I walk alongside my colleagues and my parents and my administrators and senior admin, and I understand the pulse of what's happening, and hopefully I can bring that and say, well, this is what's actually happening. That was 5 years ago, but guess what? 2 weeks ago, this is what's happening, right? So those are the skills I could bring. I'm very good, thank the good Lord, of accompanying people on their journey, wherever they may be. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is a provincial focus. So what do you see as the biggest challenges Catholic schools in Alberta will face in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, Catholic education, first of all, is a constitutional right, and it's a choice for parents, which is another choice for parents, which is very, very good. And Catholic education is the most important thing of our district. And I'm sorry, Mr. Rollick, you were saying what are the challenges of that?
Yeah, what do you see as the biggest challenges Catholic schools in all of Alberta will face in the next 5 to 10 years?
So it's the funding, of course, right? Everything revolves around funding. But also, our Catholic schools are very distinct faith communities. And the challenges I would probably see for our Catholic education is the funding, but also, we live in a secular world, right? And having a secular world and perhaps, being in alignment with our Catholic teachings might not be balanced. But at Jesus' table, there's room for everyone. I'm a strong believer, because I've lived this and I've taught it and I'm living it currently, is that we can embrace, diversity, inclusion, but also be very faith-filled and very committed to our faith. We have to be better advocates, I think. I think we're doing a good job with a whole bunch of, Grace, and Calgary Catholic does a fantastic job it's our vocation to promote our Catholic identity. I think also making the momentum of Catholic identity, really prevalent, and just sharing people, who we are, share our story. Like we have great stories. We have great traditions in our Catholic faith, and like any relationship that needs to be worked on, as well as let's not be afraid to share that with others, right? And continue that. Like I know Grace does a fantastic job, Grateful Advocates for Catholic Education. It's a fantastic job of promoting who we are, and when we look at our faith, living and learning in our Catholic faith, everything revolves around, Jesus Christ, right? And he was the ultimate teacher. He was a great person to be, for all of us to have that Christ-like identity. And funding, of course. We have to be advocates, fierce advocates at the provincial level for Catholic education. It's not going to go away, and we just have to be an advocate.
So the next question relates to this. It's you talked a bit about the funding challenges and the secular challenges with the Catholic school. How do you propose to address these challenges yourself? How would you...
Building relationships. And again, it goes back to our Catholic traditions and our Catholic stories. Building relationships, advocating fiercely who we are, and always rooted with the accompaniment of Jesus Christ, his teachings. Having people, understand who we are. For me, it's all about relationships and just, being an advocate for our faith and the stories that we hold and the traditions that we have, and bring that to the table. And also the importance of Catholic education and how it shapes the student. And having Catholic education in our schools, it's a different place. You walk in and you feel the presence of God in every corner. And that is beautiful. That is a beautiful ethos to have. And so just continue sharing and accompanying people along the way about the importance of Catholic education. Not, being forceful, just saying, let me share that with you, and being open to conversation, okay? And also, please ask me the hard questions about our faith. Not a problem, because when you have that open communication and a transparency, that means we have collaboration and we also have insights. And that's and so walking along an accompaniment. I have many times when staff or students come and everybody's not struggling with their faith, but they're on their faith journeys, and I welcome that. I thought, let us walk together, and let me teach you or accompany you on that journey.
Mm-hmm. When you mention advocating fiercely, because you talk about a very pastoral approach, but also,
yes.
What would that look like in provincially?
Building relationships with the people that I hopefully will work with, and getting to know them. For me, it's all about relationships and bringing forth our story, and having opportunities to share that. I'm not there yet, Mr. Rollick, but when I do get there, and I will listen and I will observe, and then I will. I will bring my voice to the table. I won't let parents down. I'm not going to let students down. That's not who I am. And I'll just bring that voice in some capacity that I know I will. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So the last thing, I want to thank you for sharing your views today. Do you have any closing remarks which you'd like to share?
I look at, every time that I say prayer in the morning at each of my schools, I always end off. I start with a prayer, and of course, the line acknowledgement. And then at the end of the prayer, I always say, let's do what we do best here at Calgary Catholic, and that's take care of each other. And that, for me, sums it all up. We're here to serve our students. And that's our focus, is our students. We're here to be advocates for our Catholic faith. We're here to also, I'm also here to make sure that our district priorities are met, student success, well-being, Indigenous education, and of course at the middle of it is our faith. It's a beautiful district. We're doing great things here, and I would be honored and privileged to serve in that capacity as a school board trustee for Calgary Catholic. I probably am going to get emotional because I love the people in this district, from little kids to the big kids to the parents and to the senior administration, to the administrators, to the support staff. We're a very good district, and I'm very proud to be part of Calgary Catholic, and I would even be more humbled and privileged to sit at the table with the other wonderful trustees that we currently have in that capacity. God willing, everything is in God's hands.
Well, thank you, MT, for your time today and for coming and sharing your views. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Rollick, and God bless.